starting from vocal lessons and also listening to other people's songs. Because if you listen to like people like Chris Brown and Ty Dolla $ign, you could hear like they harmonies and ad-libs. They don't really leave room for just space where you like, oh shoot, I'm just sitting listening to the beat now. So like just listening to different people, and then my vocal coach telling me, oh yeah, you could feel this out, you could feel that out. There's a harmony that can go there, because attention spans are short, so you gotta re-pique people's interest. That, oh, she hit that harmony. Oh, now I'm re-engaged to the song. So yeah, it's definitely a whole method behind it, for real.
You say you went to school in the burbs.
Yeah.
So when you went to school, did you immediately see the difference between the West Side and the burbs?
I don't know, because like I went to all black public school, so the only difference was really like not having to look over your shoulder and stuff, and then that's about the only difference. But the kids, shoot, in high school they was definitely mean in high school too. So
what school you went to?
Shoot, I went to Rich East.
Okay.
In Park Forest, but it's not open no more. They shut that down, but yeah.
So what, it was like a diversity? It was a culture shock or something when you got there?
Yeah, it was a culture shock, because my parents, they raised me in like, I was going to private schools, like Catholic private schools. So when I went to Rich East, I was like, damn, it's this many people who look like me. Like in private school, I could be the only black person in the class, or like the second one, but it really helped to mold me, like being able to get that experience, because normally when you in a room, it might not be that many of us in there. So yeah, it was cool though.
Was it weird being the only black person in some of these schools?
Oh yeah, for sure. It was it was weird. Some days it was like discouraging, and like sometimes white kids, they make little slick comments and stuff.
Yeah.
And it'll go over your head being that young.
Yeah.
And then you get home, you be like, this was really sad to me.
Yeah.
This was really sad to me. But yeah, shoot, I got through it and we're good to go now.
As an adult, that's like a huge burden to carry, just dealing with racism. So as a kid having to deal with that, because I didn't have my first racist moment until I was a full grown adult. You know what I'm saying?
Shoot, yeah.
So going through that as a kid, like you say, most of the time it went over your head. You didn't understand what was going on. Yeah. But how was it like on a day-to-day, just after you figured out what it was, just having to mentally deal with that, knowing you had to go to school tomorrow?
It was just tiring. I was always like switching schools. Like growing up, I went to about 4 or 5 different schools, because I just felt like I didn't fit in with like the kids who were there.
Right.
So after a while, you just got to deal with it, because it's either you gonna finish school or you gonna just go and be at home. So just dealing with that, I really, looking back at it, I don't know how I just went day to day going to school like that, but it just was the.
It was normal after a while, yeah.
Yeah, it is what it was. Shoot, I was, you be like, you're usually, if you're the only black kid in a white class, you usually like the person that they go to be like, damn, look at, you got on the newest shoes, or you got so many shoes, or can I touch your hair? Like going through all that stuff.
That, like, to me, that'll piss me off. Somebody constantly wanting to touch my hair, like, bro, it's hair. Like,
for real. And
I ain't trying to touch y'all hair.
Nah, definitely not. And growing up, they used to be, what you mix with? Can I touch? What? I'm black, as far as I know.
Right.
I'm African American, so yeah, just going through all that stuff just really helped to mold me though, because I know how to move and things like that. Shoot, yesterday actually I was up in Lombard. This white dude was sticking his head out the window just staring, and then he circled back. I'm like, oh no, man, we not about to be, because we were walking in a white neighborhood.
Yeah,
I'm like, it's not about to be one of those. And then he was like, sup. I'm like, out of all the words you choose to say, it's sup. Like, you don't use that with any other person. But it's just staying calm, cool, collected, because you do want to be slick at the mouth and be like, who you talking to?
Yeah.
Like, but growing up in that type of schools and stuff kind of helped me to
prepared you for it.
Yeah, prepared me for that type of stuff. So, yeah.
Growing up, what was something that you wanted to be?
Growing up, I wanted to be a vet. That's the biggest thing. I wanted to be a vet. And then I always wanted to make music, like just be a singer, do that. So that's the two biggest things that I wanted to be growing up. But yeah.
So what was something that like drew your interest as far as music and singing go at such a young age?
My grandma would always be singing in the car, at church. She had us singing in front of the church, like me and my cousins had us singing in front of the church. Like, so it's always been instilled in me since I was at a young age. And then my parents would put me in like plays and stuff. So I was always competing in talent shows and things like that. And then I think I was like 12 years old. I auditioned for America's Got Talent.
Okay.
And she at the McCormick place. I didn't get it, but that's the type of stuff I was doing. Right. That's the type of stuff I was doing. So it's just been always instilled in me, like music. I had a passion for it. So
when you auditioned for that, was it like, oh shit?
Nah, for sure. Like, a lot of people don't know, I get nervous when I perform. Like, I just get so nervous. I don't know why, but being at AGT, America's Got Talent, it was super long line. You waiting, get in the room. It's you and about 4 other people with the judges like in front of you, and then you just got to do what you do. And yeah. I was definitely nervous, but I'm glad I went through that situation because I know how it is being under pressure and having to perform and stuff like that. So, yeah.
You know, somebody recently told me, if you're not nervous about doing the thing you love, then you don't really love it.
For real, you don't care.
How did you say it? That do make a lot of sense, you know what I'm saying? Because butterflies is something that's expected, you know what I'm saying? But as long as you go up there, show and prove, then, hey, on to the next one.
Exactly,
So at what age did you decide to, like, take music serious?
Taking chill seriously, probably like 2019. I put a single out called If You Call Me, and that did really well. So I was like, I'm going to take it serious. And then I put out, actually, If You Call Me was probably put out in 2018, and then I put out a single called Strong Money, and I'm like, I'm going to take this serious. I performed at the Forge and everything. Then COVID hit. I was like, dang, well, I might as well do music while I'm just over here chilling, doing nothing else but in quarantine. So I dropped a single called Men Lie, and then after that, I just been dropping consistently. So that's when I decided to do it.
Do you ever get nervous leading up to releasing a new song? Is it like, I don't know how people gonna take this, I want people to love it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, nah, definitely. Like, when the people closest to me could tell you, I got a whole vault like of unreleased songs. I definitely get nervous because I'm like, how are people gonna perceive this song? Are they gonna like it? Are they gonna be like, dang, I want to hear this from you, that from you? But I kind of learned my audience and what they like. So at this point, it's like I'm excited to drop. I'm like, okay, we on go mode. Like, this single about to hit. So at this point, I'm just going with the flow. I just like to drop.
It always amazed me when an artist say they got a gang of unreleased music, because at that point it's like, what happens to the music, you know what I'm saying? Because I know some of the songs may never get released.
Oh yeah.
So do you go back in your vault and be like, man, I really like this song, but I know I can make it better and get to tweaking?
Oh, that's me all the time. Like, my engineer tell you, he'll be like, yeah, this sounds good. I'm like, no, bro, we got to get the layers right. We got to get the harmonies right. I'm like, you hear that empty space? It could be something right there. So I'm always improving. Like, the single I just released called Word on the Street, I put out revision 3. That was the third
Man.
the third redo of that song. Not even redoing it entirely. It's just getting harmonies, stacks, making sure I'm like that beat was more upbeat. So making sure people are at the first line, people listening like, oh shoot, okay, she going in like this. I could really rock with this. So yeah, it's a lot that goes into it. For me, like everybody around me call me a perfectionist with the music, but I gotta make sure it's on point.
Where did that come from? To be able to say and sit and be like, nah, bro, it's just too much openness in the song. Like, what? How did you develop that?
I think it came from vocal lessons and also listening to other people's songs. Because if you listen to like people like Chris Brown and Ty Dolla $ign, you could hear like they harmonies and ad libs. They don't really leave room for just space where you like, oh shoot, I'm just sitting listening to the beat now. So like just listening to different people, and then my vocal coach telling me, oh yeah, you could fill this out, you could fill that out. There's a harmony that can go there, because attention spans are short, so you gotta re-pique people's interest. That, oh, she hit that harmony. Oh, now I'm re-engaged to the song. So yeah, it's definitely a whole method behind it, for real.